Hello everyone. Hello. This year is dedicated to Lili Nishmas, Racholea, Bas, Reb Chaim Tzvi. So we're still in the middle of Klal Dal in the Sefer Chafetz Chaim, speaking Lashon Hara about someone who does an aveira, bein Adam l'makom. The Chafetz Chaim has been developing the cases where it's aser, and then explaining, in last class we discussed where at the beginning, where it's possible that it's mutter. If you think the other person can give the proper rebuke, Ruvain sees Shimon do an aveira. Ruvain thinks Shimon won't listen to Ruvain. Ruvain tells somebody else, quietly, someone who won't spread it further, someone Ruvain trusts, maybe a relative, maybe a Rav, and that person Ruvain tells is going to go and encourage Shimon to stop doing the aveira. The Chafetz Chaim says that's mutter. Ruvain has to think twice. He has to think twice. Ruvain knows his intentions are good. It isn't enough your intentions are good. It has to be good intentions and that it's going to work and something's going to happen. Positive. If Ruvain it's very possible Ruvain will mention it with good intentions, but it's going to cause a big fight. But if Ruvain is convinced that telling the relative or telling the Rav will have a positive effect, this Rav or this relative will go back to Shimon and help with proper guidance, help Shimon not do the aveira anymore, to stop doing the aveira. That we learned in earlier. That's mutter. The Chafetz Chaim explains, and again, your kavanah has to be purely for toelis. That was a case where Ruvain saw Shimon do an aveira. Shimon ordinarily keeps the Torah, keeps the mitzvos, but this aveira he does, this aveira he's not so careful in, and Ruvain thinks Shimon won't listen to his rebuke. Now in Sif Zayin, the Chafetz Chaim goes further. It's a new case, where it's not that Ruvain sees Shimon do an aveira once, it's where Ruvain knows from seeing Shimon in action that regarding certain aveiros, Shimon just apparently seems not to care. Shimon is porek all. He's thrown off the yoke of heaven, at least regarding these aveiros. He's thrown off the yoke of heaven, at least for one mitzvah or in general, as we'll see. So now already, it's more severe. So here the Chafetz Chaim is going to say that there are more examples where it's mutter to mention the Lashon Hara, because there are more potential benefits for others to hear the Lashon Hara. Why? That the ones listening should be careful to avoid being affected by Shimon. So let's begin. That again, Halacha Siv Zayin is going further and deeper than what we've seen in the previous classes. That's the whole development and the progression of Klal Dalid Mihakal El Hachamor. That's how Kaufman explained in his Sefer. The Chafetz Chaim starts from the lighter things. Ruvain sees Shimon do an action that he can't say, then, because maybe Shimon, as we discussed in the previous classes, then Ruvain sees Shimon do an action where he's convinced it's really aser and it's more severe. And there we discussed the last class where one could sometimes tell someone, and now Ruvain sees Shimon doing an action that's very severe, so here the heter of Lashon Hara will be a little broader. So let's begin. Siv Zayin. V'chol elu adai hadinim shekasavnu hu dafka b'ish asher minhago v'darko lischarit al chatav. Until now we've been discussing someone who, in general, has charata. If he doesn't have aveira, he makes a mistake, so he feels bad about it. Avalim b'chanta is darko. If you know this person, ki ein pachad elokim v'neged eina, he has no fear of Hashem. Rachmana litzlan. V'tamid and yisyatzev al derech lo tov, and he always goes in the bad path. K'ma porek melech ol malchus shamayim, someone who throws off the yoke of heaven. O eino nizar me'aveira achas, asher kol shar imo yodim shi aveira. Or there's one aveira he doesn't keep it all. Not that once in a while you saw he made him. This aveira he doesn't keep. He doesn't keep this aveira at all. Dahainu. Bein she'osa aveira shurotza legalos osa chote kamapam b'mezid o avar mezid kamapamim aveira achas meforsemes kol she aveira. He did that mezid many times. Im kein muchach mina. It's clear. Shelo machmas shegavar yitzra olav avar al divrei Hashem. The reason he did this aveira is not because his Yetzer Hara got to him and he was overcome with the Yetzer Hara and he slipped and he made a mistake. No, that's what we've been discussing in the first half of Klal Dalet in the previous classes. No, this person, it's clear from what's happening. It's not because it's clear. It wasn't that he slipped up. Ki b'shrirus libo hu holech. Rather, he's doing what he wants. He feels free regarding this aveira. He doesn't. This aveira. He does all the time. Amazing. He doesn't care about doing this aveira. V'yein pachad elokim meneged einav. He has no fear of Hashem. L'chein mutar l'hachlima u'l'saper v'gnuso. You can say the Lashon Hara, bein befanav, bein shelo befanav, whether it's befanav or shelo befanav. And the Chavetz Chaim goes on.